JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Diamonds Unbreakable, episode 28, part 1 of Highway Star. But before we get to Highway Star, there's still the matter of all that alien stuff to resolve. So Rohan was getting very suspicious over Josuke, accusing him of cheating. But at first, he seemed to be taking it very well, especially when Josuke rolled yet another omen. He was even laughing it off, but then he takes a pendant and stabs right through his pinky, nearly cutting it off. God damn, Rohan. I mean, yeah, it was extreme, but there was a reason why he did that. It's so that Josuke won't get out of this game, so that he'll continue playing. Now, we all know that Rohan despises Josuke, and he is getting angrier towards him because he knows that Josuke was making a fool out of him, and he hates that. So what he plans to do is to continue the game so that he can figure out how Josuke is cheating. If he doesn't figure it out, he'll pay Josuke 2 million yen so that he can use his stand to fix his pinky. But if he does figure it out, he'll take Josuke's pinky. And we all know that Crazy Diamond cannot heal its user, so Josuke is pretty much fucked. And this is where we get the return of a character that we haven't seen from a very long time, I believe since episode 7. Tamami Kobayashi, the lock stand user, makes his return, acting as the official for the game. Now, in case you guys don't know, the last time we saw Tamami, he got hit on the head by a brick really hard because of Toshikazu's stand surface. And because of that, he was in the hospital for like a month. That's why we haven't seen him for a long time. I wonder if he's out of the loop over the whole Kira stuff, but I hope that someone will keep him up to speed over it. Anyway, Josuke can continue playing by not cheating, but if he does that, then according to Rohan, he'll create a rule so that Tamami's lock will attack him. And apparently the lock also works as a cheating detector in a way, because if the lock doesn't move, that means that Josuke's cheating. I don't know exactly how that works, but if you guys have a better understanding about it, can you let me know in the comment section down below? I really appreciate it. So they continue playing, and it seems that Space Legolas was holding back. Then all of a sudden, these fire trucks show up with their sirens blaring. And keep in mind, Space Legolas is allergic to sirens, so he starts breaking out in hives in his dice form. But then it turns out that the reason why the fire trucks were there was because Rohan's house was caught on fire. That was completely unexpected. I mean, 1 minute everything seems normal, the next minute you turn to the house and then all of a sudden fire. Like, holy shit. And how did the house catch on fire? It's because of the magnifying glass that fell off the cart that Rohan knocked over earlier. Okay, I can understand the magnifying glass, but you have to question the time it would take for the magnifying glass to make a fire that big, plus how flammable the house is and the positioning of the sun. But you know what? It's Jojo. Better not question it. And as for Rohan, he doesn't give a shit. He just wants to find out how Josuke's cheating, even though his house is on fire. But Josuke used this as an opportunity to get away, grab Space Legolas, use Crazy Diamond to heal Rohan's pinky, and then leave. He fucking gets away! I don't know if he earned any money, but he got away without Rohan figuring out how he was cheating. And honestly, I feel so sorry for Rohan because his house got burned down. That's like 7 million yen worth of damages right there. He also lost 2.5 million yen worth of furniture. And Rohan despises Josuke even greater than he did before. Josuke was all like, everyone will be happy. Nobody got happy in the end. Except maybe Space Legolas, since he managed to return the favor, but yeah. We then cut to the next day as we see Josuke meeting Space Legolas again. But it turns out that his real name, or at least his Earth name as he calls it, is Mikitaka Hazekura. We then meet his mother, and according to her, Mikitaka has been saying all this stuff about him being an alien to other people back when he lived in Tokyo, which caused them trouble and made them move to Morio. But according to Mikitaka, the woman who claimed to be his mother is not really his mother. It's just a woman he brainwashed into thinking that Mikitaka is her son. Josuke is confused, Yoshihiro's confused, who happens to be there by the way. I'm confused, and then we get this text saying Mikitaka Hazekura, alien or stand user. So we never know if Mikitaka is an alien, and from what I've been told, we'll never know. because this is another mystery that has never been solved in this part. Mikitaka being an alien. Is he one, or is he just a stand user who thinks he's an alien? We'll never know. God fucking damn it, Araki! Meanwhile, back at the Kawajiri household, we get to check up on Shinobu and even her son Hayato, who notices these changes happening in his home, especially with his mother, and he's starting to suspect that something is off. And it turns out this kid, Hayato, he's kind of a creeper himself. I mean, remember back in the previous episode that we saw a security camera on the ceiling in Shinobu's and Kosaku's bedroom? Yeah, that belonged to Hayato. Hayato was spying in his parents' bedroom. And he was looking through the tapes and he notices that this was the first time his mom got naked in front of his dad. The fuck, Hayato? Not only that, but he overheard Kira talking about Josuke and Jotaro. So that whole inner monologue thing that happened in the previous episode, he was saying that out loud. This is why you don't talk out loud while monologuing. If you're gonna have an inner monologue, do it in your thoughts, in your head, not speaking out loud. Because this is gonna be like a serious slip up on Kira's part. So yeah, if that is the case, then Kira, you done goofed. You done goofed pretty badly. Anyway, back with Josuke. He's riding the bus and Rohan happens to be there as well. So things got pretty tense and awkward between the two. And Rohan is still pissed off over Josuke. You can't really blame the guy because his house got burned down and Josuke was swindling him for money, making a fool out of him. So yeah, I understand where Rohan's coming from. Although things start to get strange when the bus drives through a tunnel as Rohan notices this room. It seems that he's the only one that can see this because what he saw in the room happened to be Kira as Kosaku cutting up a hand from an unconscious woman lying on the table. And he started to suspect that that was Kira. However, when he told Josuke about it, Josuke got pissed off, assuming that he was trying to get back at him over what happened before. Rohan decides to investigate this himself by riding on his motorcycle to find a room, which he eventually does, and he accidentally falls into the room when the door suddenly appears open. He hears sounds coming from the closet and decides to get out of there when he hears these thumping noises coming towards him. It turns out those thumping noises were a bunch of footprints, and yes, those footprints are Highway Star, which are so fast they can go up to 60 kilometers an hour. Highway Star is a bunch of footprints that catches its target's scent, locks you on through its scent, and chases you down no matter what. And the footprints would attach its target, digging right into the body and absorb the nutrients. So yeah, Highway Star is a nutrient-sucking, bloodhound-like feat. In a way. But we actually get to see its humanoid form, which actually looks really cool with its color and its design, especially this little goatee chin thing that it has. Anyway, Josuke shows up. He decides that despite not believing Rohan, he'll check out the tunnel anyway, and he finds Rohan in the room that Highway Star brought him in. Highway Star was trying to convince Rohan to lure Josuke inside so that the stand can suck out his nutrients instead of Rohan, sparing Rohan's life. And what does Rohan say as a reply? Daga kotowaru. I refuse. But yeah, despite how much he hates Josuke, he wasn't willing to give him up for the sake of his life getting spared. That, and he also likes to say no to powerful people. So he warns Josuke about Highway Star and for him to run away, but of course Josuke wasn't going to do that. He steps inside and now Highway Star has locked onto his scent and his feet latched onto him, but Rohan saves his life by using Heaven's Door to write a command to send Josuke flying greater than 60 kilometers an hour. Josuke got so moved over what Rohan did to save his life despite how much they hate each other, decides to save Rohan by finding and going after the Highway Star stand user. But of course he has to get away from all those feet, which will lead to a really cool motorcycle chase scene in the next episode. So yeah, that was episode 28 of Diamonds Unbreakable. Overall, this was another pretty good episode. The whole alien stuff had a pretty funny conclusion and something I was not expecting, which was Rohan's house getting caught on fire, but it was pretty funny. Although this part actually made me feel sorry for Rohan, and this episode actually made me like Rohan even more. As for Mikitaka, I had a feeling that the whole alien stuff wasn't gonna get resolved, but I was told that it will never get resolved in this part, which I was kind of pissed off at because I really wanted to know if Mikitaka is an alien or a stand user. But at this point, it's Jojo, and some stuff you just have to accept it and move on. But despite all the crazy alien stuff, I gotta admit, Mikitaka, he's an interesting guy, and I actually think he's pretty funny and cool. So I hope we get to see more of him because I really like his design and I kind of like this character, so I hope we get to see him again. And of course the return of Tamami, which I was surprised we got to see him again, which has been quite a long time, but I was actually glad to see him again, which is strange considering how much of an asshole that he was, but we've gotten a lot more bigger assholes than Tamami. Although I can't believe Josuke got away with this. He didn't get caught cheating, but he got lucky to get away from all this because of the fire. And I gotta say, despite seeing these two hate each other, which is understandable why they hate each other, it's actually kind of nice that they kind of work together in a way because they had to like put aside their differences to help stop this stand, which I did appreciate, but I don't know if this is gonna be like the last time we'll see of this kind of camaraderie, if you will, between Josuke and Rohan. Probably not because Rohan's an asshole and Josuke is also an asshole, so they still hate each other, and they'll probably still hate each other once the Highway Star stuff will be resolved. And then there's this whole stuff with Hayato. It seems that my theory might be right. Hayato might be the one to find out that his father is Kira, and you know, since he heard the names Jotaro Kujo and Josuke Higashikata, he might figure out who those two are and might even go to them to let them know about Kira. So yeah, I feel like this kid is going to be the key for the stand users to find Kira. Although this kid is still a freaking creeper with the whole security camera. I mean, what the hell? It seems that this family was already messed up before Kira showed up. Now the whole Highway Star stuff, I was intrigued. I was interested on what was happening, especially with Highway Star's ability. I was not expecting it to be footprints, but seeing them actually form into its actual humanoid form, I thought that was pretty neat. The fact that it can lock onto your scent and chase after you until the footprints latch onto your body, digging into the body and then suck out your nutrients until there's none left until you die. I thought that was actually a pretty neat and dangerous stand ability in a way. And considering the way it was talking, it seems that this might be another one of those automatic type stands. Although I'm not that sure. It might be. Although, I have one question. What was up with the illusion room? Cause like, that room like showed up out of nowhere. Was that part of Highway Star's stand? Or was that just some room that the stand user had to lure people in so that his stand can like suck out their nutrients or something? I don't know. But the thing is with the room, when Rohan saw what was going on in there, it showed Kira, but not in his old look with the blonde hair. No, it showed Kira as Kosaku, his new look. So that might not have been a good idea because if Rohan suspected that was Kira, and if he saw the black hair, then that could have narrowed it down even further on who Kira is now. So yeah, big mistake on the Highway Star stand users part right there. Animation and artwork, the quality has stepped up compared to the previous episode. Although what kind of confused me is that the to be continued sign arrows showed up halfway into the episode, which I don't get why that happened, but yeah, that actually happened. The adaptation from the manga arc of the alien stuff, I actually noticed that there were several parts that were left out from the episode. For example, the explanation as to why Mikitaka can't transform into humans, and this one scene when Rohan was inspecting the dye, he was about to take a bite into Mikitaka, and Josuke then all of a sudden says, "Oh crap, I forgot to wash my hands after I took a shit." And then Rohan had this disgusted look on his face. He was like, "Oh no, I'm not gonna take a bite." And this is the guy, by the way, that licked a dead spider. He would rather lick a dead spider than take a bite or lick something that Josuke touched when he took a shit. So yeah, I was kind of bummed out that some parts of the alien arc in the manga were left out. But considering that this series is going to be like 38 episodes long, from what I've heard, I can kind of understand why. I just hope that the rest of the arcs from the manga won't get compressed and rushed in the next episodes to come, but we'll just have to wait and see. So tell me guys, what you think of this episode of Diamonds Unbreakable? Did you like it? Did you hate it? What you think of the Stan Highway Star so far? And did you feel sorry for Rohan after his house getting caught on fire and not figuring out how Josuke cheated? And how do you honestly feel about Mikitaka? Alien? Stan user alien? We'll never know, unfortunately. Anyway, let me know about your thoughts on the episode in the comment section down below. Like the video if you like it, subscribe to more videos, and be sure to check out my Facebook fan page and Google+. So yeah, that was Jojo's Bizarre Adventure, Diamonds Unbreakable, episode 28. Pretty good episode. Liking the beginning of the Highway Star arc. Looking forward to the motorcycle chase scene. And for Mikitaka, I hope we get to see this guy again, because honestly, he's kind of cool. With that being said, I'm Louis27, and I'll see you guys next time on episode 29, part 2 of Highway Star. Later.